All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Beautiful day, beautiful evening. I love it. I love it. I love it because it is raining and I love it. I love it. I love it. It just has a feel to it, when you get this raining and I even like the thunder, the lightning and the thunder. I don't know why, but I do. I just like the whole feel of knowing that this is something that man has no power over. And I know who has the power over it, and to feel the creation of the Most High Yah taking its course. It just does something to me. And I love the feeling that rain gives me. Uh, so that's another reason, I like that feeling. It's a cozy, comfortable. It's like, it's just a good feeling to me, to me, to me. Okay. Today we're going to talk about the iniquity of the fathers seen in the world today. Um, and what I understand is this is what has been hidden. A lot of us think that, oh, we the people have been hidden. Ain't nothing been hidden under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Now, there are things that can be hidden under the sun, but there's nothing new. And I like to say to you that the iniquity of the fathers seen in the world today is a product of the beginning. Mhm. It's a situation. Please hold. Hello, I'm live. What? Okay, babe. Thank you so much. All right. Mhm. My son just let me know he sent me something. Ain't that nice? But that was baby boy. I call him baby boy, but when people see him, they say you need to stop calling him that. That's a big dude. He ain't no baby. But Sister Deborah got this is a pretty good topic because it's a hidden topic. It's a topic that you're not going to hear from the men in which the Father in the kingdom has trusted them with all the life on the earth. And this is one thing you're not going to get them to talk about. They're not going to discuss it. They're not going to cover it. They're not going to lay it out for you. And what it does is it hides all the darkness in a way of not seeing how did we get from one level to this level and where we're at. And the Father wants you to understand that it's a level in which in this day and time should be owned. You should see it for what it is and own that thing. Even if you cannot change what it has become or is and going to be, at least you can look at it and see that it is what it is. To me, just being able to see it for what it is, it brings sadness to me as a mother, as a woman. It brings sadness because it's like, okay, you created this from the beginning and you trust one to bring it, to carry it in, to bring it in, to train it up, but yet they have no ownership. They won't own the fact that, wait a minute, the way that it is today, Hey, this has to do with us. It would never be owned. It would never be looked at where it started. You see, we can say that, well, no, it started with who tempted the woman. No, baby, you've been up, you've been down, okay? Because the living was always in man. Living is not in woman, it's in the man's womb. That's why he was created first. That's why it wasn't good that he be created and in the garden alone, because he was carrying something that cannot come forth without woman, but he was carrying it. This is why the Father was saying that this is not good, because I got to create something that's going to transfer living into a place for 9 months, and then I bring my part. See, y'all had a part in it at the end, y'all. At the beginning is what you all think, but at the end is where y'all come in. You don't get it, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna break it down. The Father created men, males, so that they can carry all living. The statement and reason why he spoke it, but when he created it with that right hand, guess what? It was created totally different from woman. That's why he wasn't created to carry it 9 months. He was to create it to hold it all within his womb until it is transferred into woman. Woman is liable for you allowing it to use her breath to live on, and what she take in as far as eating. Okay, then when she bring forth, y'all take it from there. And do you know that the moment she bring forth that child already has its end? Oh, Deborah, you better watch yourself. You see what I'm saying? When she bring forth that child, the moment that child come into the world, then the breath of Yah is given to that child along with the image, which is a spirit. Now that child has an end. You see? See, that child can't have an end nor a beginning until it has received the breath of life and the image of Yah. That's why he needed a help meet to meet the will of the Father to bring the living to life. You get what I'm saying? The same way he brought Adam off the ground and breathed in him his image through his breath, and he became a living flesh that has now a spirit, which is an image of Yah, plus the breath. You see? So likewise, when a woman has a child, the child is living out for her for the 9 months. That is why it was not good for him to be alone. I would make him a help meet. You got to understand, where is it she's meeting him to fulfill the will of Yah. All things was created for the purpose and the will of the who? The Father. Okay, so now that this child comes, is in this mother's womb, she about to bring birth him. Now, y'all take him from here. Isn't that deep? Y'all take him from here. With what? By giving him his image and his breath. You see? That's not what mother give him. That's not what the Father gave them. But Yah has given them them a spirit and his breath. The spirit is like unto his spirit. It's an image like unto his, a spirit. You see? So now that child has life and death detached to him or her. But where did he start? In the womb of a man as the living. So what you see today is a product of all the living that came from the Father, because they were placed in him. You get what I'm saying? So he carries all the living without thousands and thousands of years. He never knew that the reason why he was created first is because he had the highest position on the earth to bring forth living, so Yah can bring in his breath and his spirit, his image, a spirit. But he couldn't do it with woman, because woman didn't have the seeds. She didn't have the living. It was the men. So when you begin to read and want people to understand living in life, you first have to really start with man and Yah. That's it. That's the only way you can start. And when I sit back and I continue to just read this study guide, I'm like saying in here, Father, it's nothing in here that's teaching these men anything outside of searching themselves. So what is it they don't get today? Do they understand today is because it's a product of who they are living in today? Do they understand that? No, they don't. Everybody blames everybody, but no one owns the fact that, wait a minute. So that's why Adam was created first, because Adam's position is more powerful than woman's position. She is the incubator. He is the seed. Who is the most important? The seed carrier and the breath of life. That's it. Woman's just there to nourish it for 9 months. And it's a reason why she got left with it, and the world puts everything on a mother as far as the children and the mother, because the world sat back and watched the whole house of, I said the whole house of Israel, but basically Judah lead his seeds right with that woman. So they saw this. They saw this. It's no way a man could lose his child if he was doing right from the beginning. You see? The world knows that the living is in man. Judah just don't. The house of Israel just don't. Even though the Father keeps saying everything coming down the Father, even the sin. The sin, the good traditions, all of these things coming down the Father. So this topic is about the iniquity of the fathers seen in the world today. Eve is not in Adam. Eve did not come out of Adam. You see, we know a rib cannot produce a copy of Adam. She didn't have the same DNA as Adam. See, that's what everybody don't understand. That wouldn't it just don't make any sense. That means he'd be having his daughter or having his daughter, but it's his wife. No, y'all don't rumble like that, but that's the way y'all want to make it. But no, Eve had a separate DNA from Adam. That's why a bone was taken, not a bloodline. You see? It was something special about making sure that man is created before woman. It's because man never knew that he is the highest level of, I would say, power and position on the earth. And as it was dropped in the garden, it is dropped today, but worse today than even in the garden. You see? So Adam's children were in his womb. That's where you got Cain. You see? Those are his bloodline children. Cain and all the others he had. I myself do not believe that Abel was Cain's seed. But let me say this though. If Abel is Cain's seed, he had to come as the seed of the spirit and not the seed of the serpent. You see? But when I saw that it wouldn't allow us to understand anything that's saying Adam knew Eve and Abel was born. It doesn't say that. It only said Adam knew Eve and Cain was born. It never told you that Adam knew Eve again and they buried a second son, Cain. You never hear Eve announce Abel like she announced Cain. See, Cain was of the flesh. Abel was of the spirit. Okay? He came here knowing how to serve the Most High Yah. You see? So, where we're at today in the iniquities of the fathers is seen in the world today is because the same one he created first, you see, is the same one that holds all the life and everything you see in today. He's the father of all these lives and what you see in the world today. It's still the seed that comes from the fathers. You see? Now you're going to have some seeds. It's going to be spiritual. That's coming from the Father. And you're going to have some seeds that is like unto the serpent. That's coming from the womb of the Father. Throughout scriptures, he told the Father. Your worstest enemies is those of your own foe. I mean, in your own household, your own children, your own kind. He was letting them in his own household, letting them know who is his household made of, his children. Then he said you're going to have 2 against 3 and 3 against 2. You see? Why? He's letting you know there's different seeds coming out of your womb into life, into living. You see? He's letting him know that. Never will he tell a woman. He was telling the man because he knew he created the man to carry all living. And believe it or not, what you see today in all this chaos, this confusion, is the iniquities of the Father. This is what you're seeing today. Let me take you to Proverbs chapter 22. In Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6, it says, train up a child in the way he should go. This is not saying the way that's not known, the way of unrighteous. or the way of wicked and evil. It's saying train up a child in the way he should go. How should a child be trained in a way he should go? Would be the right way. There's no other way a child can be trained, you guys, outside of the right way. It would not be that he's saying train up a child to be lazy and he's going to be lazy. Train up a child to be how would I say it? A drug addict and he's going to be a drug addict. That's not what it's saying. It's saying the way that he should go. And the reason why he's saying that, he's telling the individual who carrying the living of these children, the living of these children. He's telling them to train them up in what is right. That's the way he should go. The right way. Should we say train them up in the way of wrong, in the evil and wicked? No, that's not what's being said in Proverbs. Train them up in the way that a child, in the way he should go. That's the way of right, y'all. Now watch this here. And when he get old, he will not depart from it. It was, if you train him up in right, right would be with him all the way up to even when they are old. They would have trained their children in the same way you have trained your children. So he's telling this to the men to train up your children in the right way. See, they want to claim being leaders, rulers, kings, head of their household, but they don't want to take the responsibility and the liability that Yah created you to be there to show them the right way. And let me tell you another one. He also put the liability on you to show them the way to Yah. Did these kids get it? No, that's what you see today. Trying to find everything in the world going on to justify and clarify and identify why all this mess cutting up from the floor outside or looking within and say, wait a minute, men, he held us liable. That was our created position. These children are our living. They came from us. Every father, every grandfather, every great grandmother, great grandfather, no matter which way you go, they came out of the womb of a man. And that's why men were created first. That's the most powerful position on the face of the earth. Is to transfer living from your womb to a woman. She only gets it 9 months. That's it. But it's coming from you. And this is why this is going to let you know. Do you know my testimony is so powerful? It is so powerful to the point where when I finish, you're going to get it. You're going to say, that's why you can speak on the mountain regarding that. That's why y'all will never know what what my life is consist of to be able to stand here and say these things to you all the way I say it in such a boldness. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the Ruach got my back and my front, my up and my down, but I like the boldness of my testimony so that the boldness that upholds my testimony is what you're missing. And then you say, that's why you can talk. Yes. Had not he allowed my steps that he had ordered in my life to be able to speak as bold as I do, you know why? Because I don't even have the space nor the energy to even entertain or listen to people talk all this trash. When I hear them talking trash, evil and wicked. Now, just imagine, you guys. Hello, everybody in the live chat. Just imagine if males and men would look into it and realize that, wait a minute, that's why we the head. That's why we the leader. That's why we should be head over our household. But what they didn't understand, they only want head of household as a form of controlling what they want to do. They don't want the liability and the responsibility that was given to them before, I ain't gonna say before the foundation of the world, from the beginning. They don't want that type of liability. The liability that they want is to feel that they are so empowered and so in control, whether make right choices or bad choices. I rule this. That's the sort of power and control they want over a household, which they have had. And we have had grandmothers, great-great-grandmothers, great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmothers, all these women supporting it. That's why you see the world in the condition that it is in. And I said to the Father, I said, that's why it was easy to prophesy. Because it's plainly seen. It's plainly seen to those who have the eye to see. That means that spiritual eye to see. Those who don't have the spiritual eye, you see so many on these platforms got pages and they just think they just doing it up. Because they can open up the instructions and direction book, and they can go Greek, they can go Hebrew, you can go whatever way you want in every corner around the world. When you finish, you still sitting and teaching and preaching in darkness. Because without the Spirit of Yah that breaks this stuff down, you still just out there going strictly to the narrow gate in your teaching, your ministry, your preaching, and your understanding, your wisdom, and your knowledge. It's just heading straight through the broad gate. You have no spirit and truth that support nothing you say. You're just reading from a book. And matter of fact, this whole world is built up of a lot of books and a lot of words. That's why we needed the Spirit that goes beyond the books and the words. Why would he want to come and live in you if all he gonna do is sit there? He's bigger than that. The same creator. He is not bringing his Spirit to abide in your nasty flesh just to be sitting there. Won't teach you nothing, won't reveal things to you, won't show you things to come, won't comfort you, won't give you the power, just sitting there. But then you all knows everything because you read the books, the words, and don't have no respect for who he is, the word. Okay, so when you read in Proverbs 22 and verse 6, I like that because it's sending a message to the same one that don't know that they were created to be a male for a reason. And this is why it's so many of them wanting to be the female. This is a sign of showing you that they never wanted to keep their crown on their heads. They want to go all out of the order in which he has created them as men. The most powerful position on the face of the earth. He has the most powerful responsibility on the face of the earth. And guess what? 99.9 has never taken that position. Has never taken that position. But wants to tell you on these platforms, we are kings, leaders, and rulers. But haven't taken the position you were created for. A man that's carrying the living. Then the woman receives the seed of the living. She incubated for 9 months and flip it over to the right hand of the Father. He's the only one can give the breath of life. And his image is blown through the breath of that infant. That's why he says once he come in a few days or a few hours, he's full of trouble. He's in there now, Deborah. You see? That's the whole key. That's why he had to make a help meet so that that help meet can meet the man that's carrying the living, transport it to the woman for the 9 months, and bring it forth according to the will of the Father so that he can usher the breath of life and the image of Yah as a spirit into that baby. That's fulfill the creation from the kingdom. That is his fulfillment of woman, fulfillment of man. But so he made him to be a leader as a form of everything in you. Those seeds is what you need to lead first and foremost. That's why you need me. See, me first. Because once you understand who I am, first and foremost, it'll make it easy for you to understand all the living is in you. And this is what made them, I don't know what made them, but I say this is the reason why so many of them got babies all over the place. They think that's just something they just wanted to do. And you know, they just want to get the thing off and, hey, dropping them every place and don't take care of them. But the Father is going to bring them to the throne. And he's going to ask them, wait a minute, hold up. I put all the living in you. What happened? I trust you to train them up. It was your responsibility. You see, this is a hidden, powerful, and it's sad. This is why the world is in the condition that it's in. This is why you see what's going on. This is why you see it. 1 minute. I'm sorry. So this is what you see today. All this chaos. And Sister Deborah, as a prophetess in the wilderness, guess what I'm seeing? Way beyond that. Because it gets very confusing trying to figure out what these men sound like women. These men out here fussing and arguing like women. And they're going to live. You remember when it says, my people perish due to lack of knowledge, because they reject knowledge. Do you know perishing mean they die? Born, come here and not know nothing about what I'm telling you all today. So I asked the Father, I say, what is it for them to know today? They didn't have the sense to understand it, nor to know it, or to teach it, nor to preach it, nor to minister it, nor to reveal it. So why would they need to know it today? He said, whatever was in the dark, Deborah, it's going to has come to the light in the last days. Everything is being brought to the light. So whether they understand it or not, if they get it or not, it's not important. That which is in the dark shall come to the light in the last days. So it's not that it has not been there. It's they reject truth. While you're busy, so many are busy trying to figure out how we're going to kill one another. Drake and this other guy is arguing. The so-called Hebrew Israelite, so-called men, thinking they ruling something. I mean, just a mess. Europeans are taking each other out like these men are killing up their families like it's... Woo! It is showing you that, don't get me wrong, women are doing crime too. Don't get me wrong. But the Most High has allowed so much to be left here on the earth to those he trusts with the living. With the living. So when we get to David, you get to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you get to all these men, you notice they never saying much about the women because they don't understand. The men is the one carrying the living, y'all. They are the one that's carrying the living. They are the seed carrier. and don't even have no respect for the seeds that's in their womb, that y'all wanting them to meet with woman, disperse it, and she is to hold it for 9 months and bring it forth, and he give it life. But wait a minute, Father, before you can give it life, you're waiting on him to bring forth what? The seed. Do you see what I'm saying? Yah is not bringing forth the seed. The seeds are in the womb of the men. Remember, he told Satan in Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15, your seed, speaking of the serpent, Satan, and the woman's seed represent the spiritual seed. One going to crush the head, one heel are going to get bruised, but they all going to come out of a man's womb. That's deep. Women, this is how important men really are as far as in creation. So when we look and we see we are not included in a lot of things because we are the seed that came out of his womb. So he wants to make sure the one that's carrying the seed understand his position. Here we are in the year 2024. Now man can preach and teach what I just said. Now they could hear it, salute it, and say, well, wait a minute, I didn't know that makes sense. But that's about it. Why? Because Adam took off the throne of being a man in the garden. Men took off the throne in the year of 2024 ever since Adam took the throne off of his head in the garden. That's why you see what you see today. They don't understand. They can't say anything about anybody because it's all been orchestrated in their womb to come out from among them. Now, let's go. Let's start off here. Let's go to, we're going to kind of ride over in what they call the Old Testament Torah. Okay, we're going to go into that area. Let's go to Exodus chapter 34 and verse 7 through 9. Exodus chapter 34 and chapter 34 verse 7 through 9. As I was looking through this, you know what I said to the Father? I said, Father, this go way back. He said, yes, Deborah. But he said, look what time it is now. Because with me, I was calling myself being smart, saying, oh, Father, this thing go way back, in the sense that they ain't got it. I'm trying to, from my view, I'm looking like my clothes is falling off. But he was saying that, yes, it goes all the way back. And I say, look where it's at today, in a sense. It's been going on a long time. Yeah, I know. Today, listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Today is a product of yesterday. Okay? And what's going on with the product today that was taking place yesterday? There was lies yesterday. Hidden stuff yesterday. But it said, that which was in the dark shall come to the light in the last days. It's no way in the whole world will men come to light that their position was the most powerful position and they were holding, living in their womb. And this is why the world is the way that it is today, because of what came out from your womb. Do you think that that's going to come to light for them to open their eyes? No. But Yah is going to make sure everything is revealed. Now, him revealing things, do you think that it's going to make everybody realize, well, I'm going to repent and I'm going to turn, or I had this thing wrong, I'm going to teach these men how to, no. Yah does, it's not, I told you, he says finish. He's not coming to make the crooked straight. How? Ooh, Father, Yah. There's no time on Yah time clock that says he's going to make the crooked straight. He's going to make what Adam took off of his head, which is his crown, and he's going to go and put it back on Adam's head. He's not going to do it, baby. That's why the books are set in the kingdom. See, that's what y'all don't understand, the power of who this creator is. He set the books up in the kingdom, y'all. And what are those books with the S? For the lake of fire. It's for the lake of fire. So you mean you knew it would be this many going to the lake of fire? Yes, I did. Kingdom already got it ready. They already written. You see? So even though they're not going to awaken, he knows they're not going to awaken. When he said, come out of her, my people, so you won't receive the plagues, do you really believe he was talking to Israel coming out? He was talking to Israel because he knew they will not come out. They've dived too deep in to Babylon to turn around and come out. If a man don't know what he was created to be in the eyes of Yah, see, they so busy wanting us as women to know who they are and what they, kings, leaders, and rulers, what we were created to rule and king and this and get you submissive. They missed their creative position. They missed it. Just as Adam did, took the crown off his head. You see, that's how it is today. That's why they can blame everything and everybody for the condition of this whole world without blaming themselves, without looking within. So in Exodus chapter 34, verse 7, I was saying to the Father, how is it that this been going on? He said, Deborah, that which was in the dark shall come to light in the last days. But I just want you to see how long it's been in the dark. They want to tell you we need to do Torah. Hold Torah, live by Torah. Torah your tail somewhere and sit down. Because you don't know nothing about Torah. See, they wants to teach this book out of the flesh. And they don't understand you have every right to teach this book out of the flesh because you are strictly born flesh. But he that pull up to teach it out of spirit and truth, they don't have to abide by the word the way you live it in your flesh. They can step in the word and out of the word, go under the word, on top of the word. Why? Because greater is he that rules it all, that's in them, teaching them the true word of the words that you're trying to live by that has been smeared throughout time. Okay, so in Exodus chapter 34 and verse 7, it reads 7-9. Keep mercy for 1,000, keeping mercy. Now listen to this. Keeping mercy for thousands, for forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin. You got to understand, keeping mercy for thousands. Y'all got to know what that mercy, that grace and mercy is. That grace and mercy letting you doing all your wicked, your evil, your lying, your stealing, your killing. Grace and mercy holding your tail up. That's what grace and mercy is doing. Allowing. It has to allow you because y'all's will got to walk itself from A to Z. So grace and mercy go hold all your wicked up. Now listen to this. Exodus chapter 34 and verse 7. Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin. And that will be no means clear guilty. He's letting you know, just because you're walking your butt around here on his grace and mercy, that don't mean that your sins, your iniquity, your transgression is justified. I'm gonna catch you on at the throne. I'm going to show you what it's really about. See, that's what everybody thinking. Some people saying, well, okay, where's your God? Y'all been saying that for years. They've been saying this for years. He ain't came. Ain't no such thing as hell. Ain't no such thing as heaven. And it's getting deeper and deeper as time keep going. It's getting far from truth than anything. To me, it's like going into the darkness. That's what everybody's teaching now. No light, no spirit and truth, no nothing but darkness. And telling you this is the only chance you got. Don't worry about it. Ain't no hell. Don't worry about it. Ain't no heaven. Ain't no rapture. He ain't coming for nobody. They've been saying this for years. That's showing you how long grace and mercy been holding up your wickedness. Crazy people. Grace and mercy been holding that mess up. Let's go over it again. Exodus chapter 34 and verse 7. Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin. Who's forgiving them? His mercy. His mercy. Now watch this here. And that will by no means clear your guilt. It ain't gonna clear it, baby. I know I put mercy and grace down there for thousands. I know it. I don't have no problem. But it ain't gonna get you out. It ain't gonna roll your sin away. Wait till you hit me on the throne at the throne. Okay, now watch this here. And he says, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children until the third and fourth generation. He's telling the fathers, all your wicked and your evil, you ain't getting away with it. That's grace and mercy holding your butt up. It's coming on down your bloodline. And your bloodline, children, and children. All your wicked, all your evil. You ain't getting away with nothing. It's just coming down your bloodline. Why the men? Why the fathers? Their job, their position is the most powerful position on the face of the earth. And Satan and his crew has won them over 99.9. This is what you see in the world today. Why the judgment have to route back on to the house. Y'all sitting around here. Well, why? No one never thought, well, why do we didn't went through so much? Why do we need to be judged first? Why? Because you ain't went through nothing. Because you ain't accept nothing. You ain't salute the fact that you were even put in a situation by the Most High Yah. You feel somebody else done something to you. And I told you, I put you where you at. But you still deny it. So here he is in verse 7. Exodus 34 and verse 7. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers. What about the mothers? Deborah, the mothers don't hold the seeds. They're coming out to learn of the father. They're coming out of his womb. The seeds are coming from that direction. If he wicked, most likely the majority of his seeds going to be wicked. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? Oh, yes. Okay, the broad gate ain't broad because y'all didn't know the way. The broad gate is broad because you don't know the way. How about that? You think it's broad because he don't know the way? No, it's broad because you don't know the way. So he says that he would visit the iniquity of the fathers upon the children. What is he saying? Deborah, all this wickedness that's in the father is going to be in his children. And then their children going to have it, and it's going to be in their children. And their children going to have it, and they going, and women run around here. So I did the best I can. I sent them to school. I made sure I was a parent's teacher. I did this and I did this. And here today, they blame women for the children. And y'all say, Deborah, see the big lie? The way that the children are is the way of the father. Even the mothers, even me as a mother, is the way of my father. Woo-wee! You see? Y'all knows who he brought the living in. He knew he had the seeds too. He knew it wasn't in no woman. But they got y'all thinking that. Because that's how they get away with everything, from taking care of their children, their household, doing what they're supposed to do, training up their children in the way that they could go, when we are blaming on woman. And that's what you see today. And you see all these European women are being murdered by great numbers, by husbands, by boyfriends, by brothers, by great numbers. This is why I had to bring this cross, because it's not just the Europeans, it's all over the world. You see, we know Judah ain't got sense. They gone anyway. You see, they thinking he coming for them. They gonna be left right here, like Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25 said. He told them, and in Jeremiah and Ezekiel, he telling them, your tail gonna get left. I was telling you all about it earlier. What's that? Yesterday, telling you about the shepherds and the leaders, the pastors. You see, the watchmen. He's sitting here telling y'all think y'all got it going on, but see, in them, they don't care about what you say. That's why they want women quiet, so they can take this whole thing they've been doing since Adam been in the garden, take it all the way to the end. Okay, so here it is. And he said that I will visit the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and the children and the children until the third to fourth generation. And if it's still iniquity still abound in them, I'm going to send it on down to their bloodline. It's going to keep going. So this is where we at today. A lot of you all thinking it has something to do with the women. It had nothing to do with the women. It had to do with the seeds that are in the men, and their ways that have been wicked overflows into their seed, into their seeds, into their seed, into their seeds. Now let's continue. Watch what happened. Verse 8 says, we in Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 8. And Moses made haste and bowed his head toward the earth and worshiped. What was he doing? He on the ground, y'all. He worshiped y'all. He got his face on the ground, y'all. Like I told you, 99.9 of y'all need to do every day. Showing that we as men are not worldly. Moses got his face to the ground. I've done that so many times. That's all we are. Of flesh from the ground. That's our outer man. That should be down when you got to touch the hem of his garment. Okay, and verse 9 says, and he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight. I know that's right, Moses. See there? That's that grace and that mercy. This is what Moses is down on the ground said. And he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight, O Yah, let my Lord, I pray thee, go among us, for it is a stiff-necked people. Moses is saying this. So a lot of us, we run around here today and we try to make today as if, well, this is what they saying about us. We ain't that. We ain't that. Moses was saying it when he was dealing with you. Way back then. So who were they? Those are our forefathers. We're still stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient. Same thing Moses was saying back then. I, a living witness today, that it stands today. Moses said it. Listen to what he said. He said, go among us, for it is a stiff-necked people. Pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for thy inheritance. And take us for thy inheritance. So he was pleading to the Most High on behalf of Israel. He was pleading, asking him to pardon their sin and their iniquity, and take us as your people, Father. He on the ground with his face to the ground. What man doing that today? They are not about to come to this level. Wait a minute. I want to say something to you all. And you all probably say, yeah, I ain't gonna say what you're gonna say because I don't know what you say. Okay, wait a minute. He says that he dropped something outside, my baby. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. That's so sweet of him. Yeah. That's so sweet. That's so sweet of him. That's so sweet. Okay. So listen to this here, you guys. Listen to what I'm saying. Being a female, it is crazy that the Most High Yah has to use his to bring this forth in this day and time. Listen to what Moses was saying in verse 9. It says, let's go to verse 8. This is how Moses did. Exodus chapter 34 and verse 8. And Moses made haste and bowed his head toward the earth, face down, his head toward the earth, and worship. Now he's finna deal with Yah on your ugly tail. Now watch this here. Verse 9. And he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight. He's wanting Yah to take his prayer on behalf of these people. So he's going down on the behalf of Israel. Now watch this here. Oh Yah, let my Lord, I pray thee, go among us, for it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquities and our sin, and take us for thy inheritance. Pleading on the behalf of Israel. He's calling out the Father to find grace in his sight because he knows these people are horrible. He knows it. Now, what is this man doing? He's speaking on behalf of all of these people. One man. What happened to everybody else? Why ain't nobody else? Why ain't they doing it as a group thing or gathering? Because what Moses saying to me, Deborah, you saying the same thing. You're telling them their creative position. And they is just as stiff-necked as it was when I was with them. I was putting my face in the ground and asking the Most High Yah to pardon their iniquity and their sins because they stiff-necked. That's the ugly people. So when you look, when they run around here telling you hold on to Torah, okay, Moses was doing it for them then. I'm in 2024. Can sister do it for them today? No, I can't. It's over, said the Most High Yah. The difference from Moses and the year 2024, we're in the full stage of the judgment and the wrath of the Most High Yah. We are in his end. And if they still haven't gripped, and it make me kind of saddened because here it is, poor Moses was on the ground pleading the same thing. Here I am, living prophet, speaking it to you all that, wait a minute, these people are this bad. So Moses, he's sitting here saying, the children, how he's going to visit the children for us, the iniquity and the transgression and the sin of the fathers. And I'm sitting here saying the same thing, y'all. Moses and I can't just be sitting here or just say, if I'm not Moses, but I'm still sitting here can understand Moses' situation he's going through. He's speaking on behalf of them. I'm telling them that, hey, wait a minute. Yah is going to visit your sin upon your children. But it ain't going to, he said, it ain't going to allow you to get away with it because he's going to meet you at that throne with all your wickedness for judgment. He said, he said here, what did he say? And that will by no means clear your guilt. That's what people don't understand. Grace and mercy will never, ever, ever clear your guilt. Because he pouring out grace and mercy on you. You think you innocent and you're not guilty. Oh no, baby. Grace and mercy is just holding you up. Because that judgment is still waiting there for you. Why you say that, Deborah? Deborah, why do you say that? Don't forget, before the foundation of the world, the books were written. So you think because you down here on earth and he poured out grace and mercy, it's going to change the books that's in the heaven? No, baby. The books is finished. The books is closed. Those books were closed. Once everybody was placed in the books to the lake of hell and the books to the life, he closed them bad boys. So just because you're on the earth and he giving you grace and mercy, that ain't going to change what's in them books. Oh, no. So Sister Deborah come to say to you all is that they really don't get the fact that they have messed up from the floor, and from the look of it, like Moses said, they are stiff-necked people. And I'm learning that, hey, Deborah, once I come from mass, I'm dropping grace and mercy. But when I come from mass, I'm dropping grace and mercy. I'm bringing what is mine. So a lot of them thinking that they, I'm a gang banging. You hear the Hebrew Israelite men, old enough to be your grandparents, your great-great-grandparents. They all out here acting a fool. They are not teaching these young men anything but wicked, evil, and hate. They're the same stiff-necked rebellion and disobedience that Moses dealt with. That's what is y'all don't get. They the same ones that you see today. That's why Sister Deborah can say the product of yesterday stands today. This is what you see today to make the world such a bad place. This is why you see all this wicked and evil. I know it. They tell you to blame the white man. Bro. Moses ain't talking about the white man, and nor am I. And I know who I am in Yah. And I'm not talking about the white man. I'm talking about the house of Israel, especially Judah. Okay, so let's go to Exodus chapter 20. So he said this here. He's been telling them this, y'all, that he's coming back for the sin of the father. Not coming back. He's going to allow the children to have to bear all the sins of the father. That means whatever the father, his rotten heart is going to be in the children. A lot of women don't even understand it. This is how I minister to men. When I run up on men that have had problems and have issues, first place I go, I never go after mama. I go after the father. And I win every time. You know how I win? I begin to tell them about their lives. Works every time. I begin to tell them about their lives. I begin to tell them about their habits, their addictions, and what they're going through. Don't let them know something about grandpa or great-great-grandpa. Don't let them know something about their history. These men really go crazy. Well, how would you have known that? My dad told me my grandpa did it. I'm like, because it comes down according to the way he that sits on the throne has said that it would be, down that bloodline of that father. Any issue you have, you got to go down the bloodline of the father. Let's say, for instance, me. You can't go down me. You got to go down my father's bloodline. You see? And you'll find different, even disease or sickness. You see? And then his bloodline, you go down his father. You go, no matter what you do, you go all the way down. You can go all the way down. And it tell you the history of what you got standing before you. That's how I deal with them. And then if I get a man, and I'm going to show you how I bless him. If I get a man that says he has problems and he don't know where he come up with it and why he think the way he do and why he feel the way he do, and I go on back to daddy. I said, have you ever met your daddy? No, I never know who he was. My mom said he's this, but I never knew who he was. I said, what are your good habits? I said, now let's pull out your bad ones. I said, you never seen your father? No, I never seen him. He's in you. My mother always said, when I do this and when I do that, remind me of my father. She said my father's father or used to be like this, or my father's brother. And I know I'm that way too, even though I never seen my father, but I met his brother and I got all his weight. Then they start breaking up. The men start breaking up. Start seeing it for really what it is. Any issue a man have, he can always run that thing back up to his father. And if you can't get the father, get the father's father. If you can't get the father's father, pull up to the brother. If you can't get the brother, pull out to the uncle. Pull out. You see? And you'll see who your father is, which you never seen a day in your life. He lives in you. That's what he's telling us. That I'm going to visit the iniquity of the fathers 3 to 4 generations. He said, Deborah, tell him it's rolling up now. It's still going. And once you can capture that, guess what? And it's not just the sin and the wicked. It's just that's the heaviness of it. But even the good part, what Daddy used to do and how talent he was. How he was good at, how would I say, repairing things and fixing things. How he was good with his hands. How he was good with his mind. All of that runs right back into the child. All way back into the child. You think this system of the whole world would have you to go into a hospital? The first thing they want to know. Your health of your fathers. Anybody in your father family. They would ask you your health in your mother's family as well. You know why? Because they know anything that you have, it got to come down the bloodline. So what do that mean? What you see today. All this chaos, it came from the fathers. And that's what you see. That's why they don't know nothing about their position that they were brought to the earth to have the most powerful position. They don't understand that's the power in it, what you see today. I don't care what race they are, nationality, it don't matter. It made the world what it is today. And if you think the world is not in a chaos, that's because you gone here already, 100. Because if you can't see what's going on in the world, it ain't got nothing to do with a woman. There's a reason why everything was put in here. Man is, man is, man is, man is. See, they thought they had an upper hand because they was able to train the women to believe that they are supposed to be on their back and just clean. No, baby. I'm a prophet in the wilderness. And let me tell you, he put me above your understanding. So nothing you can say to me. So that shows you. You see it one way, Yah says another. He said, your thoughts is not his. Your ways is not his. So stand down, clowns. Get with the program that was in the beginning. And you'll find out where you at now in the end. This is why the world in the condition it is. Do y'all think that those people that's pulling up over there fighting them wars, you think them women? Come on now. You think all of this conniving and you think there was women on them ships bringing all these slaves in? Who was beating these slaves? Come on now, talk to me. You won't give truth where truth rests. That's another thing I noticed in this day and time. They want to study these books and Enoch and all these lost books and found books and study these Bibles and all these history books. And guess what? They don't want no truth of the whole matter of it. They just want to be having enough to try to convince you to continue to think that it's the way they say it, they want it, they believe it. And he said, wait a minute, tell them, back them up and back them down. Tell them, your thoughts are not my thoughts. Your ways are not my ways. So you got to back that down, bro. You live in your ways, in your flesh, with all that wicked and evil. Tell that way. So the world can see what condition it's in. Oh, they ain't going to tell that. They ain't going to talk about that. So let's go to Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5. Let's see what Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5. And I'm going to show y'all the difference. And I'm going to show y'all why you all had it wrong all the time. It's going to blow your mind. When you see it, you're going to say, we had it all wrong. Yes, you did. Okay, let's go to Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5. In Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5, it reads, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Ahiah, thy Yah, am a jealous Yah. What makes him jealous? He don't want you to bow down to them. Now watch this here. Listen to what he says. I, the Most High Yah, am a jealous Yah. Listen to what he's saying. He's so jealous. Watch this. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children until 3 to 4 generations of them that hate me. You see, he will visit the iniquities of the children of the fathers that hate him. You see, the fathers can be a pastor in a church for 1,000,000 years. He can be a bishop for 40 years. Have y'all heard where they say a pastor has the worstest child? Have y'all heard that? Pastors have the worstest kids. Have y'all heard that? See? You see? That's been known. Now listen to this. He says, 3 to 4 generations of them that hate me. Why did he say hate me? Of them. He's going to visit their iniquity. He's going to let that iniquity keep going on through all their generations. That wicked and evil in them. He's going to let it continue to what? The seeds that came out of the womb of a man that hates Yah. You see? That hates Yah. Not the seed of the spirit, but the seed of the children of the man that has the iniquity, that has the iniquity, which is sin and wicked. 3 to 4 generations of them that hate me. What did he tell them in Genesis chapter 3 and 15? He was going to divide the seeds. Just like you saw Abraham, Adam have Cain and have, I'm not Abraham. You seen her bring forth Cain and you seen Abel. One was the serpent seed, one was the spiritual seed. Likewise, he said those that hate him, they're going to keep on producing their seed of wicked and evil. I'm going to visit that mess. They're going to go from generation to generation to generation. That type of mess. Those that hate me. The seeds that hate me. Where do the seeds come out of? The Father. See, this is why they don't want to come into, and you won't hear them teaching anything in this area because they want you to continue, and they're going to. And I even see that even being on YouTube. I see that it's nothing worth being on YouTube at all. Facebook, Instagram. It's nothing about it that's worth it. You can come and teach all day and all night, and it's going in one ear and going out the next. That's why he said it's over. It's finished. When you know what he means when he says it's over and it's finished, you don't look to come to make sure you get someone to understand it and get it and understand it. No, they ain't gonna get it. They'll turn the other way before they come to the straight gate. They'll turn the other way. Okay. So here he says that Yah said, I will visit the iniquity of the fathers upon the children. He letting you know, women and men, he's coming for your children from your wickedness. They're going to ride, that wickedness going to ride into your children. Okay? Until the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. So does it end? No. Because their children and their children and their children, the wicked is still going through the father's sin. And he's telling you it's coming out of the ways of the fathers. These are not seeds that the father is the good seed. And then he visited in the father's sin. So the son is going. A lot of women tells me when my son, he did real good while he was in up to 8th grade, and then now he started wanting to smoke. He started to. I said, well, okay, well, what was the daddy doing? Oh, he smoked a lot of dope too. What did you smoke? Never in my life. Well, how did you think the son smoked? See, y'all don't understand how y'all did this from the kingdom. Y'all orchestrated this from the kingdom, y'all. He didn't do this on the earth. He orchestrated it from the kingdom. He knew that the wicked and evil of the fathers was going to play like they're innocent, and they ain't done nothing. They ain't. But the Father then parked this into y'all from Torah to the end. That I'm going to visit the iniquity of the fathers. He's been talking to the fathers about everything regarding their instructions and direction books, and they heard not a word. Because that's why it's easy for them to blame everybody else outside of really looking within and say, wait a minute, he's talking to us. They would rather sit and lie on woman, just like Adam did in the garden, that woman. But before he blamed the woman, he blamed Yah. And Yah said on the earth, women, he would blame him before he blamed you. But first and foremost, they will blame Yah, and then they'll blame you. Because what is he meaning? What do Yah mean? What do Yah mean when he tell me that, Deborah, they will blame me first, like Adam did, and then blame woman? What is he saying, women? What is he saying? Do anybody in the live chat understand what he said? What is he saying? Anybody in the live chat? Then I'm going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 9. What is he saying? When Adam said, that woman you gave me, right then, he blamed the woman, but he blamed Yah first, because he said, that woman you gave me. So he blamed Yah. So what Yah is saying, every time they blame you all and make you all the fault, he said they saying he is the fault. Because the fault really rests on them. He said, so anytime men are blaming women, Deborah, it's because they blame me first. It's not the woman, it's me that they blame. I think that makes so much sense. That's what Adam did. He said that's what they're doing today. They call themselves blaming woman because it's easy for them to blame her because they think they're getting away with it through hate. But he said it ain't you that they're really blaming woman. They blaming me. Okay. So I like that when he used to tell me, I was in Georgia. He used to tell me to tell the women that, go back to that verse and show them where Adam said, that woman that gave me. He said, right there, that's the flesh of man, blaming me for the woman I gave him. So it's impossible for men to blame woman without blaming Yah first. So any hate, any dislike, and disrespect they have for woman is because Yah wants you all, every woman on this earth, to understand is because they first disrespected him. They cannot disrespect you first. They disrespect him first. And then they disrespect you. But first and foremost, like he said, they hate me before they hate you. Yah means that. Okay. So when you get to Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5, it reads, did we read that one? Oh, yes, we covered that one. Now let's go to Deuteronomy 5. Now here we go. Wait, while we're still in Torah. Deuteronomy chapter 5. And this is what bothers me. You got all these people reading this book and trying to beat people over the head with it in Greek and in Hebrew when they don't know the spiritual purpose of what this book is saying or understanding, which is called spirit and truth. Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 9. In Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 9, it reads, thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them, for I, Ahiah, am a jealous God. Saying the same thing in Deuteronomy, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children. The iniquity of the fathers, meaning their sin, It's going to also not escape the father, but it's going to roll over to their children, to their children, to their children. So when you run around here trying to figure out why in the condition is it's because he that hold all the seeds haven't proven himself to be anything outside of what is not righteous. So this is the reason why you see all of this right now, no matter what nationality they are. The seeds were put in the men. They were carrying the life. And whatever sin they do and wrongdoing they do, the father said, I'm going to allow it to roll over into the bloodline of the children. And they're going to be trying to figure out, well, why I'm like this? I never met my dad. I never saw him. And my mother told me he dead and I never knew nothing about him. You know a lot about your dad. Look in yourself. Look at your ways. See what's going on with you. And I'm not talking about just the wicked part of you, but the good part of you too. Look into that. The way you think, the way you function, look into it. And if you can't seem to find him, ask your mama, what's her daddy like? Okay? See, that because that's where it's all rests, you guys. It rests there whether they want to teach it, preach it, or bring it forth. Like he said, that which is in the dark shall come to the light in the last days. It's not about them receiving it. It's not about them receiving it. Just like he said, come out of her, my people. He know you ain't coming out. It's not about you coming out. That's why he really didn't expound on it. Because you're not coming out. So that in Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 9, saying the same thing. He said he's visiting the sin of the father on the children. Why do you think Israel is over here? The same thing. Because of the forefathers. He just said it over and over and over. And what? You won't get not one man to preach and teach it like that. They will not teach and preach that. They will not teach and preach it. You won't hear these guys on YouTube breaking that thing down. You will not hear them. This is what it meant about the level of their wicked and evil. They would hide the truth because they don't want nobody to know nothing about really who they are. They want the world to continue. Anything you see going on in the whole world, you best bet ain't no woman behind it. A lot of women don't think of it like that. They don't understand it. Ain't no woman behind this. Y'all been saying it for the longest, even us coming over here. Even us coming over here. He said the forefathers, Why is it got to be a lie? Why is it everything got to be a lie? Okay, so in Deuteronomy 24 and verse 16. Deuteronomy 24 and verse 16. Deuteronomy 24 and verse 16. The fathers shall not be put to death for the children. Neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man should be put to death for his own sin. Now, here in Deuteronomy 28, they was speaking on the domestic relationships and laws. A father can't do anything, and then his son is put to death for his father's sin. And a father can't do something. A son can't do anything, and the father be put to death for what his daddy did. Okay? This is what this is saying in Deuteronomy 24 and verse 16. This is different. Y'all come in the spiritual line. See, y'all brought it down in a spiritual way. I will visit the iniquities, transgression, and the sins of the fathers upon the children. So he came a total different route. And the route that the father came was from heaven, from the kingdom. He orchestrated it like that. And if they could sit down and see and dig deeper and find out that they're carrying the life, not the life they're living. And this is why the world is in the condition that it is in, because it's measured by them. It's measured by them, y'all. The way the men conduct themselves is the way the children shall be, and their children, until The cycle is broken by a seed of the spirit that came out of the womb of a man. You see? Outside of that, that's why the broad gate is so broad. That's why hell was enlarging. People ain't getting it. They ain't getting it. He knows what is coming on down the pipe. These men don't even understand they are liable for everything coming down that pipeline. Their judgment, when they stand before him, he knows that he put living in them. And nothing they have done as their first position, being born as a man, they took their crown off as a man that holds the living, put it on the ground, said, this is not a position I want, since Genesis. Chapter 2. Chapter 3, really. And that's how you see it today. The responsibility and the liability, they put that on the ground and took off their own way. Run around here telling you they are leaders, they are kings and are rulers. Over what? Come on now, y'all. You all don't even know what they are rulers and kings and leaders over, do you? They want to be kings, leaders, and rulers. The first thing he wanted you to rule was your household, and it wasn't your wife. It was your seeds. And if you ain't ruled your seeds, what told you're supposed to rule another man's daughter? Because she married you? But then the father would ask you, well, what about what I put in you? What happened to those seeds I put in you? Why ain't you ruling them? Why ain't you ruling what I trusted you to rule and train up in the way of righteous? What happened to those that I put in your womb? They won't be able to tell them. What you do with them? I don't know. Did you feed them? No. Did you clothe them? No. Did you house them? No. But they came from you. How could that be? They would never be able to stand before the throne and answer. 99.9 don't even think that that's going to be something he's going to ask them about. But yes, he is. He know what he put the living in. How is they not going to be liable for the living? But everybody, all this wicked and evil out here, and they're not going to be liable for training up the living that he put in their womb, being the head over the living that he put in their womb, bringing chastising and discipline and righteous over the seeds that's in your womb. No, you just drop them all over the place as if they weren't given to you. And you want the world to be liable for what you dropped out of your womb that I put in your womb. Understand, a woman didn't put that in your womb. I did. The Most High Yah put these seeds in your womb. So how are you going to answer me when I ask you, what did you do for the seeds that I put in your womb? They ain't going to be able to say nothing. Because they ain't going to be able to even say what they did, because they ain't going to be done nothing. And running around here want to be kings, leaders, and rulers. No. You rule yourself first. And ruling yourself, that means everything is in your womb. That's what you rule. That's the one you're supposed to train up in the way that you should go. So that's how I'll show you how in order you should be before you go into a woman. Your mindset these men don't understand. If your mindset messed up on the floor, your children's mindset gonna be messed up on the floor. It don't have nothing to do with no woman. He didn't give no seed to no woman. So stop all that lying. Sad day today. Because they lost with the cause and without one. Running around here, and here it is, the year 2024, and then left so many babies there. I heard that they got babies in Germany, Philippines. When they went to the military, they didn't just left babies they ain't never seen before, y'all. Just dropping them as they go. And this is the thing about it. I don't know if y'all know this. I call it how would I say it? I call it a good mother. If something happened to one of my children, I can feel that thing. You see? Whether it has happened yet or not, y'all give me the feeling inside. Now, how is it I can feel that, but the man can't feel nothing regarding all those babies they dispersed all over the place. It's the same way. I'm gonna go all the way there with y'all. It's the same way with them saying, okay, we put this here seed into this woman. Her job is just to incubate it, y'all. That's all. That's it. His seed, the baby is in the woman. Who takes the baby from there? Yah, with his breath and his image. He gets the child. So the woman is the middleman. Okay? So if this woman decides, I'm going to go to the abortion clinic and get an abortion. I'm having a child. I'm 3 months pregnant. I'm going to get an abortion. Is that a good thing to do? No, it is not. Is it a righteous thing to do? No, it is not. But you know what? Let me tell you something. When a man masturbates, he's masturbating with hundreds of seeds dispersing. Versus a woman has one seed that has been planted. He has hundreds that he's masturbating with. See, if y'all want to go somewhere, come on, I can take you all the way there. You see? So how many children have he aborted with one masturbation? Then she aborted. Because the ignorance in them all is this. Life starts out of the womb, not in the womb. You see? But the seeds are planted from the Most High Yah in his womb. You see? She is the middleman, the incubator. She gets an abortion, she has murdered, she has killed. But what is it called when he aborting? When he masturbates? He's carrying the seeds. The heavens call them seeds. I like to know what he called it. Same thing. You're aborting the seeds. Spilling the seeds. Who do the seeds come from? Yah himself placed them in your womb. The number one powerful position of a man is to carry the living. But then he look over here. These women abort our children, abort our baby. You ain't took care of them ones you had. See, they don't understand you see what I'm saying? They don't understand their liability from the kingdom. They down here hooping and hollering about their liability in the flesh of their pleasure and don't even understand. Let me say that example. This is why it's so deep. They have taught these women that a woman that has intercourse with a man and he spilled these seeds in her womb, okay? And he spills these seeds in her womb. They never make it to the place of incubating to have children. The ignorance of the men is that man's life, hear me well. I know y'all is going in one ear and not the next, and I know I'm talking to a brick wall, but I'm going to talk. This sister going to talk. Now, he done spilled these seeds into the woman's womb. The seeds never make it to incubate into a fetus. What the men are telling the women is all these men you done had is still left up in you. They have created so much demonic wickedness, pleasure in their sick minds to the point they got these ignorant women thinking that every man you done had is up in you. Let me explain that to y'all. And even if I explain it, you still ain't gonna get it because he said it's over, Deborah. These people ain't got the sense to digest nothing, spirit and truth. The difference between the ignorance of the men is at the same level of ignorance of the woman. And he was telling me, don't use ignorant on this because that just means simply not knowing. They don't even care to know anything about righteous. Is a woman has been given something so powerful from the Most High Yah that flushes her system out every month. So how is it he tells a woman to stay away from any man, any bed, anything, even the church, when she on her cycle? Because the blood that comes out of her is so powerful and so potent. It is spiritual created to flush out of a woman's system. What is that blood for? To destroy anything that's left in her out. You want me to tell you how deep it is? It's like poison. It's created to flush her out, but it's like a poison. Anything in her, the blood is going to destroy it. That's a gift from the Most High, y'all women. And you might think, oh, I cramp, I did, but there's a reason why that's there. It's to clean your system out. These ignorant men come telling these women, and these elderly women, they just as sick too. You got all the men you ever had is still left up in you, because that's why y'all got the mood swings. You the mood swing. Because I'm going to break yours down, bro. I'm going to break yours down. I'm going to break it down. Now watch what he says. He said, when a woman is on her cycle, a woman is supposed to stay away from sexual, any type of contact. She's supposed to stay away from connecting with churches or going and doing or whatever. Why? Because the Most High, y'all know, he put a powerful tool of blood in her every month that it's going to clean her out, and nothing should come near her. Okay? Because he knew the sick minds of the men. He knew what he's talking about. Because they don't care. They'll come anyway. With it or without it. So he gives her that. He created, the Most High, Yah created that. He knew that your womb was going to carry babies. You see? Discharging. All kind of things. So he made sure he gave you something that'll knock out any and everything that come that way. It is impossible for all these men's sperms being part of your mood swings in your life up in you. And these men sell you these trash, you silly women. Now, let's get to him. All of your waste, her monthly cycle, destroy. So how is it a man's going up in a woman and leaving and dispersing, and it's changing her mood swings? When did y'all create? Y'all sick of this sick. This is the pleasure minds of the males. That's it. Now let's go to you though, bro. Let's go to you. You're around here masturbating. What did he tell you? Told you the same darn thing. But yours is a little different. Yours coming out. And he said, clean your nasty tail up, wash your bedding, and don't go around nobody when that is dispersing out of your private area. Told you to do the same thing he told woman. The same thing. Clean your tail up and don't go around nobody for 7 days. He told it to the men. And he was saying if they had it to where they're going through like wet dreams or experiencing their self dispersing. Why? It's blood. It's blood, y'all. What that man put out is blood. So what y'all had to do is give a woman a power punch that will punch and destroy every lick of his blood out of her womb. That's what a cycle is for. But a man, he tells him the same thing. Clean up your bed. Change your mattress. And don't go around anyone for 7 days. Now, he's not talking about masturbating. See, but they ain't clicked in on that. Oh, Sister Deborah talk about it. Because that's an abortion in itself. Hundreds of abortions. Since you want to claim that she's going to have an abortion, what are you doing? The breath of life don't come in until that child come to life. Come be brought into the world. See, it's living on mamas now. Breath. But when it come into the world, that's when Yah take it from there and give it the breath of life, along with the image of who he is, which is a spirit of itself. See, these people, I don't know where y'all been and where y'all going. These men has messed up this whole world and don't see nothing wrong with what they're doing. I see why. And you know what? Especially Judah. When he's telling Israel in Isaiah 3 and verse 25, he gonna destroy these men and the mighty men too. I was like, what? And ever since he told me that, I see why. I see why. I've seen why too. I just didn't know he was gonna do it like that. But I see it's right on time. It's right on time. So let's go to let me just go to a couple of more of these verses. And I want to go to this is all in Numbers. In Numbers, in Exodus, and Numbers, and Deuteronomy, he's telling the men, I'm going to visit your wickedness on your children. That means those children is going to carry your wickedness. So women, you went around here thinking, well, how is this going on? It's because of your baby's daddies. Your daddy's daddies. All this is coming down the bloodline. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You ain't got this. You are not the seed carrier. You're just an incubator that maybe had a father that brought you in. They got bad habits. You see? But when you finish, when you check the fathers, then you'll know who the mother is. Sometimes you have to go back to granddaddy. I went back two grandfathers, great grandfathers, and pulled up on this guy. He was like, how did you know that? My mother told me about that. Some of them would say even their daddy told them about that. My daddy brothers was like that. But how did you know? Because I stick to what Yah is telling me, not what man wants to train me to believe. Okay, so I want to say this here because I don't think I'm going to be able to go through all of these verses. All of these verses is actually telling. I'm going to show you how the good part about it. All these verses is actually telling the Father, I'm coming for your children, your sin on your children. I'm coming for them. And this is why we're where we're at today. And all these men in the world will blame everyone, each other, nationality, religion, and won't even see that we as men has destroyed what the Creator has created. They will not own it. But that's the truth of the whole matter. And it didn't take a woman to go to the garden to choose to entertain a serpent for it to get to where it's at. The womb of Adam was already filled with seeds of the serpent or seeds of the spiritual. It was already in his womb. And they were going to conduct themselves just as Cain did on Adam. Because of his what? Cain did to Abel because of Adam, his father. The sins of his father rest in his son. See? You see what I'm saying? Yes, you can pick up that book 24, 24, 24, and you will never get the book telling you that Cain knew Eve and they had Abel. You won't find it. Because Cain came as a spiritual seed. He ain't gonna teach you that. And I notice, I sit back and I watch how everybody conduct themselves in learning and understanding. And they always find, especially a lot of these women try to find a scapegoat or a door out for the men. Baby, when I hear women trying to take up for men, talking about women this and women that, women need to do this, they need to do that, they need to stop doing this. You know what, baby? Every woman came from a womb of a man. You need to address where that seed come from. Because guess what? In the instructions book, Yah said that's how he does it. So how you bag that thing up and bag that thing down? You ain't talking about nothing. And any ignorant people of Israel that teaches this mess out of the order of what is spirit and truth, you ain't going nowhere. Your butt gonna be right here. Because first and foremost, he told you Where you at is because of your forefathers. He didn't say your foremothers. What sense does that make? How he gonna say your foremothers when he didn't say your sin and how stiff-necked you are and how rebellious you are, how disobedient you are because of your fathers? Moses said it way back then. But we gonna get over here and make it about the female teaching, opening their mouth. Because you know what? They know that if the true women of Yah, you know, if the women of the Most High Yah would get together, guess what? We can raise the dead just by moaning. See, a lot of people don't believe in that type of power. But see, I don't need you to believe in it. As long as I believe, I'm that one that going through the narrow gate. I ain't got time to go your way. I ain't got time to try your broad gate. I head toward the narrow gate. I ain't got time for that nonsense. I know what he invested on this earth for us to be able to be strengthened, wise, knowledgeable, have the understanding of his ruach. I know what he's doing. I know what he's done. That's why I can't get stuck on stupid. And there are a lot of silly women, lighted with lust and sin, following these men out of. And you know why it says women full of lust and sin? Because they follow them, because they love that pleasure of lust and sin to follow them. They're following their sins of these men. 2 Timothy chapter 3. It tells you all the things the men are going to be doing in these perilous times. Then it tells you and going to take captivity silly women, lighter with sin. They know that lighter with sin, silly women, full of lust. Those are the only women that follow sick men. And they think they got something going on because she submitted to them. She submitted to your flesh. Pull up with the spirit realm. Because if she got to submit to your flesh, that means you flesh. You see what I'm saying? She got to be able to know how to submit to your spirit if your spirit is submitted to the Most High Yah. Why you trying to get her submissive under your feet, in your control, in your power? Sit down, clowns. You ain't got nothing going on. So let me tell y'all the reason why I know that. Let me explain to y'all why I said this. As I was doing my study, almost at the end, he pulled up. He said, "What verse is it in?" He pulled up. It's either in Isaiah, Ezekiel. I got a whole bunch of verses here, y'all. Jeremiah. I don't want to go through all of them, but that's what he does. At the end, he says, "No more, Deborah." And it's in scripture, shop. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me pull it up, y'all. Let me pull it up. I like this here because it shows me that what I'm saying to you all is 100. That's all that's what it did to me. I don't know what it'll do to you, but this is what it did to me. Let me see. I'm going to go on and pull it up so I can show you all. So you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And it was beautiful. To me, it is. Because at first I was like, man, where is this coming from? But then he broke it down to me. I was like, okay, here we go. He gave it to me. He gave it to me. Here it is. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 18. No, verse 29. Wait a minute. Hold up. Where am I at? Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 29 and 30. Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 29 and 30. Now watch this, y'all. Now this is where you know if you really know what you know. Now watch this. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 29 and 30. In those days they shall say no more. Listen to this, y'all. In those days, okay, they shall say no more. You know what day that is? When we get us to Mount Zion. Then will they say that. Watch this here, y'all. Then will they say, this is verse 29, Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 29. We're going 29 and 30. Listen to this. In those days, they shall say no more. The fathers have eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. Verse 30. But everyone shall die for his own iniquity. Every man that eateth sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge. What is that telling you? All of this time, since Genesis, all the way to today, all the way, the children been carrying all the wicked and evil of the father. But come to Mount Zion, no more will the children. No more will it be said that the fathers has eaten sour grapes, and the children teeth are set on the edge. The children's not going to suffer the sins of the father when we get to the Mount Zion. No more. So that tells you they're doing it now. They still covering the father's sin. And the sin going down the bloodline of your children. But he said when they get them to Mount Zion, now the father's sin is not going to weigh on the children. That's why I know that what I'm talking about in this message is potent. Telling these men that all this wickedness you see today came from your learn out of your womb. Anytime you want to talk about a woman raising a son, what it was your liability from the beginning to the end. Came from your womb. Why should she raise what's in your womb? He gave it to you. How did you turn it to her, leave and walk away? Because the world said it's hers now. No, you didn't take care of it like you supposed to. Y'all put it in you. You never fought for it because you never fed it. You never fought for it because you never housed it. You never fought for it because you never bought any clothes. You never fought for it because you ain't want to spend time no way. All of you been living your lives. And guess what? The Most High wants you to know it's going to come with your judgment. Oh, yes. Because you didn't care about your first position on the earth as a man was called out by the Most High Yah to be liable for the seeds that's in your womb. Okay. I know it. You run around here talking about, oh, he gave one talent, a certain amount of talents, and this one a certain amount. But you know what? He's going to wrap that also in the seeds that he put in your womb. What did you do with it? You mean you didn't house it? You didn't feed it? But it come from you. Not only did it come from you, it had your ways. You mean you left it with somebody else? See? They think they're getting away with it all. This is why they stay firm on the women. And women have no idea why the men are so hateful. It's because the Bible prophesied. This Bible prophesied has it in here, 2 Timothy chapter 3. It prophesied. Let me get to that. And we run around here. Why are they like this? 2 Timothy chapter 3. This know also that in the last days perilous time shall come. The perilous time shall come. The perilous time shall come. When? Verse 2. The males shall be lovers of themselves, of their own self, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to their parents, unthankful, unholy. What more can you ask for? He went on and went on and went on. Who said that? Timothy is talking about the men today, y'all. And the women hide the wicked and error and the sin and the iniquity of the men. They've been doing it, been hiding. Everything men been doing, they've been getting away with it. All this wicked and evil. Don't come to Sister Deborah's page, because what Sister Deborah gonna tell it like it is. She ain't cut nothing down. This This is strictly a channel for spirit and truth and the light. Now, all this is going on, and you all are just thinking it's okay. It's nothing wrong with this. And you know what? Y'all don't even understand. He said when it's time for them to go to Mount Zion, Deborah, when they get on there, that part that I told you, Deborah. Now, this is what he said to me. You know, when I told you the sins of the fathers coming down on the children, he wasn't saying the children, just the sons. They were coming down through the sons and the daughters. So they're sin and they're wicked coming down. But guess what? The good part of their father come down on them too now. Don't get me wrong. But he was saying he wanted us to really focus on the iniquity of the fathers, because that's what's going to weigh heavy on the women when they thinking, oh, this is my baby. I raised this baby. I breastfed this baby. I took care of this baby. I housed this baby. I clothed this baby. I fed this baby. This is my baby. So the world says, okay, yes, it's yours. He left it. He didn't stay in to feed it. He didn't take care of it. He didn't raise it. He don't want to do anything. So that's why they put the heavy burden on the women, and as the black women, as the Judith women, is because we are always been left with him. Left with him. But even though we've been left with him, guess what? Y'all still hold him liable. He ain't getting away with nothing. That's how we end up where we at. For the same wickedness of our forefathers. They got away with all that wickedness, and who paying the price? Somebody need to talk to somebody. Who's paying the price? You see the children still paying the price. And nobody wants to talk about it, to minister. They don't want, you won't get a man on this earth to teach and preach that thing right. You won't get them, because that's how far they are from him, portraying they up on him. They ain't gonna teach you right. They ain't gonna tell you spirit and truth. They ain't gonna show you the light. And I can guarantee you, they ain't gonna show you the way to the narrow gate. Because the only way they want to show you is through that broad gate that's gonna make them think they're kings, leaders, and rulers. And I love it when he gets up in Mount Zion. He's telling you now, Deborah, tell them that when they get up here, the sins of the father is not gonna weigh on them. And that's that. Now, that's a good thing. Now, why is he saying that? Let me read it again. Jeremiah chapter 31 and 29 and 30. Y'all, I know y'all ain't getting this here, because if you just think about why would he want you to know come time you get to Mount Zion. Listen to what he says. In those days, they shall say no more. The fathers have eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. What does that mean? That means when the father have sinned, all he did, his wicked and evil, made the children not. Just imagine your teeth set on edge. They didn't have a good life. So when you see in the world today, and you see these kids out here talking about they don't have a father in the home, baby, you didn't have a father in the home because the kingdom knew your father wasn't going to be in no home. How about that? See, y'all think y'all is the dumb ones and you the smart one. You the dumb one. Because he knew you wasn't going to have your tail in that house. He knew today you was going to be running up at the end day talking about you kings, leader, and ruler. Why? Because he pulled up watch this here. He allowed Timothy to pull up and tell you how ugly you were going to be as men in the end days. You will be caught up on the floor up in yourself. Boasters, boosters, high-minded, self-centered. All kind of wickedness in the last days. These are fathers. The same fathers that haven't took care of their children. Didn't train them up in the way of the y'all. And where did these children come from, y'all? Their womb. You want to get a man alive to preach that thing. You won't get them. And they won't. Now they'll get on here and hear Sister Deborah and go counteract what I say. Because they think they're going to find it in Greek and Hebrew. Baby, you can find it in Greek, Hebrew, and woo, too. But when you finish, it ain't no spirit and truth going to bag it up and brag it down. And you ain't going to pull up with no light. So sit down, clowns. So when you get to Jeremiah chapter 31 and 25, 29, he began to tell them it ain't going to be no more of that. That's over with. So what is he saying? You mean to tell me, Father, this has been going on since the beginning of time? You mean to tell me they was talking about this in let me see what was Exodus and Numbers and Deuteronomy? You mean all this was going back then? All the way up until till we get to the promised land? how bad the father's been cutting up, y'all. And we women thinking, oh, it's us. You get some of these silly women talking about we need to do this for the men. Sit your rotten tails down. You don't know what a man is, and you don't know what a woman is. 99.9 of them women be saying that, talking that trash. Do y'all know they don't even read the instructions and direction book? They just want to say something to get likes and subscribers to make these men desire to hear them talk. And when they finish talking, they still calling them bitches and hoes. When you finish running, trying to take their side, what's drilled in these men is in them. The throne go handle them. How about that? Let the throne of the Most High y'all handle them. Let the throne handle them, because He's going to. So I just thank the Father for giving me an opportunity in such a midnight hour to be able to share this message, because it's a message that you ain't gonna hear from no man. And if you say, I heard a couple of men today when I was listening saying that they are the 144, they were separate, but they were saying they're the ones that everybody wondering why they ain't joining them, ain't going to their camps, ain't on their page. I won't let them interview them. They are not for that. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Y'all's elects and those that works on His behalf ain't about you. It's about doing what He has called them to do, and that's what they are entitled to do. They're not supposed to be coming and be clowning because you clowning and you acting a fool. You got women that been on here so many years, won't give y'all no spirit and truth, no food for your spirit and no light, and y'all run y'all tails all up in their faces, and they ain't saying nothing. But this is showing you who's who and what's what. People are desiring chaos at the highest. They're not desiring any truth. That's why the Father said, Deborah, you can teach this and you can speak on this, but you know it's over, right? And He has to keep reminding me to let me understand that it ain't going to change none of them. It ain't going to even move them. Matter of fact, you talking to a brick wall. You going in one ear out the next. And I'm like, so what should I do? He said, you got a lane. Stay in your lane. That means don't come up out of the lane that I designed for you to buckle down to their ways, their way of thinking, their way of feeling, their emotions, their feelings, their interpretations, their wisdom, their knowledge, their understanding. You can't go that route. You got to stay in the route that's in your lane. That's your lane there. I created it. Get in it. Stay there. Don't let none of them, what they saying, what they thinking, and how they try to counteract or whatever, stay in your lane. So I, Sister Deborah, would like to say I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in to this evening, and I hope you got something out of it. And yes, I had about 15 different verses saying the same thing. But the good thing about it, y'all, the whole overall is it has to be the way I'm saying it is. You know why? Because when He was going to Mount Zion and He brought them to Mount Zion, He said, now the sin of the fathers is not going to be held on the children. So therefore, all the way up until we get to Mount Zion, this is the chaos you see in Judah, in Israel. This is why they need to be judged first. See, y'all thinking that, when they bothering us, they doing it. No. Israel, Judah especially, but Israel still don't get the fact that His name is here and your names are underneath Him. You see? Not the heathens and the Gentiles and all these here Europeans. Their name ain't under there. That's why Sister Deborah don't waste her time breaking down the way they reacting. They reacting the way they supposed to react, because they are seeds of many Satan seeds. I am not going to live life explaining to you a white woman saying we the people. These people knew you was the people before you was the people. What are you talking about? You mean Judah that ignorant? Yes, they are. Gone. Chasing videos where people are saying that we are the people. And yeah, you the stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient whoremonger people. Did you ever realize, yep, you the one? So why is it something so good that somebody said you're the people? Because their mind is messed up. And that's why him coming and taking his to Zion. Let me say, that's the best thing that's going to happen. But I believe without a doubt, many of Israel, especially Judah, whom I, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness, has come down to set in the midst of what they're doing. Many of them going to be left behind. Many of them. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I hope you got something out of it, and I will be back. And I say to you all, appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live chat. I'll be back again. Shalom and shalom.